Hello. I am so excited to be here with Miss Sarah Dobbs, the principal at East Marion Elementary, and she really doesn't know why I'm here. This is a surprise, but I've recently announced that we had two schools, our two remaining schools on our state Bureau of School Improvement list, which is really our watch list for those schools who are in need of improvement, student achievement-wise. And Miss Dobbs has done an amazing job out here at East Marion and has come off that list. So today we're visiting with Miss Dobbs, and we'll be visiting with our next school coming up soon in part 2. But congratulations.
Thank you.
I know I've told you that already a couple times.
You.
And congratulations to your whole team. We have students moving behind us, and this is why we're here.
Yes.
What I want you to share is what you and I already know, but share for everyone the work that it goes into to get the improvement in student outcomes, sustained improvement, right? And it's not about programs.
No.
You're working really hard on attendance, so I want you to talk about that and the model that you've created for that, but also what you're doing with the review of data and really helping every student succeed, what you're doing to reach every child very systematically, very authentically. And before I turn that over to you and stop talking, we're in front of your data wall, which is ever present here, right? Ever present here. And then hopefully we'll get a clip of your March Madness over here that's tracking and monitoring attendance. This is what I've seen here throughout your tenure here is every day, every system, every process is very strategic, very purposeful to reach every child. So now let me stop talking and share for us what you are doing and how you're doing it.
Well, our biggest focus is attendance. Without having students here, we can't reach the instruction that we need for them to have. So the community message that we've been sharing is just get your kids here. We'll take care of the rest. And with every lens, it's been around attendance. What can we do to engage learners? If they're not engaged, they're not learning. What can we do to get them excited about learning? Talking about careers and tying everything beyond just the classroom to why do students need to come to school. But then while students are here, everything is data driven. Every conversation that we're having with students is, how many days have you been to school this week? Or what's your goal for attendance this week? What's your goal for the DPMA? Just talking real with them on their data and where they stand. But then having teachers have their data present in front of them during collaboration. They're having it in front of them during our faculty focus, during early release days. Every chance we get together, it is driven by data and conversations around what's next, what's not working, and how can we fix it. And using all stakeholders from paras to teachers to support facilitators to tutors.
Excellent. And we'll get a clip of this too, the board that's always out front about the messaging for the families on where we are with attendance every single day. You're marking that. But you've already talked about this a bit, all stakeholders. So the numbers are real, but also matching matching the data with the student and the student needs and all of the wraparound services, the conditions for learning.
Yes.
Right? And some accountability on that, right? So what is it we need to do to engage those students in learning and get them here?
Exactly.
If we don't have them, we can't teach them, which is what you live every day.
Yes.
And I would also say what you've done very well is the valuing of education, why that is important for our families to know why their children need to be here.
Yes.
Right, because that time you never recover. So what have you been most proud of in the successes with the students?
Oh, where do I start? Well, our attendance overall has increased by 1% overall. I mean, by the year, and that doesn't sound like much, but it's impactful.
Yes,
our chronic absences have decreased by 7%. Wow. And when having conversations with families, they're understanding the gaps that they're creating by not bringing their child to school, even for 2 or 3 days per semester, and students know that. They want to be here. They'll talk to us about our attendance. They'll tell us what their class average is. They've bought into that too. But then, of course, academic achievements just because they've been here. We've had double-digit gains in our end-of-year assessments, but even DPMAs, we're already trending 20% higher in three of the 6 categories already.
Yeah, just terrific work. What advice would you give others in working to those outcomes? in improvement for student outcomes. What advice would you give?
Being deliberate in your actions, but using data to drive those decisions, and then just being relentless. Once you've made a plan, stick to that plan and see it through. You'll never know if the plan worked or not if you don't follow the plan and don't see it through. And just again, speaking to attendance last year, we killed attendance all day, every day, and so much that people were, but by sticking it through, we saw our data and comparisons, and it worked.
Sure.
We know it works. Staff have bought in, students have bought in, and we own it together.
Right. Last point. You've mentioned data several times and how important that is, and it is.
Sorry if it's too much.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But there's a difference between understanding the data and having the data translate into action and outcomes. And so what have you done to ensure that the data that you're looking at and reviewing, collaborative planning, all those other things you're doing in classroom visits, is translating to student outcomes? Because that's the big work, right? Is how do you make sure that something changes? Yeah. So what have you done in terms of taking a look at the data, analyzing the data, understanding what the need is, to seeing those outcomes?
One big thing, and I don't know if this answers your question, that we've done though is we call it our Magnificent Seven. So every staff member that works in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade has 7 students that are theirs. And every single child in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade has a Magnificent Seven mentor. So they're responsible, they're their case holder for their data. But it holds the students accountable to setting goals, and so they can track their data and progress and then communicate to their parent, hey, I need this to be promoted from 3rd grade. This is the score I've got to get. So it kind of helps bridge the gap, and if everyone understands it and everyone can bring their piece, then we're able to watch and track a little bit differently.
Excellent.
I don't know if that answers
well, and you've said this a couple times. You've mentioned students, student voice, student ownership. Because if they don't know and can't articulate what their goals are and don't know what the path is forward, then we're doing that for them. We're not enabling them to be the drivers of their learning, right, and their growth. So good for you. And see, it's just an illustration that even in elementary school, student conferencing, student-led goal setting, student-led tracking really does have an impact. That wasn't leading because I didn't know what you were going to say, truly. So thank you for all the work. And again, congratulations to you and your entire team that are working so hard under your leadership to reach every child.
Thank you.
Thank you.